What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army to do a review that I've been waiting for, or been waiting to do for a very long time, and that is of the Toynami Voltron Defender of the Universe 30th Anniversary Collector Set. I've already got a few Toynami Voltrons, and this is actually based on the original diecast that Toynami made back for the, I believe it was the 20th anniversary of Voltron. It's hard to believe that's already 10 years ago since that came out, with some updates. I know there's going to be a lot of different people watching this video. I'm going to talk a little bit in the beginning here before I continue, so bear with me or skip ahead. Toynami had on pre-order, or at least was thinking about releasing, and a lot of people had on pre-order, a base that was designed to use with the Masterpiece figures. Unfortunately, that base never came to be. And also the Masterpiece pretty much ended up being sold out. It started at around $130, sometimes $100, and then it sold out of its, I believe it was 15,000 pieces, if I'm not mistaken, or 13,000, something along those lines. Each one came with a certificate of authenticity. They all got sold out, and eventually prices skyrocketed. So with this release, it gives us the opportunity, the people that haven't bought it, or the people that have it and just want extra gimmicks, to be able to buy it without having to pay $500 of what the other ones are going for. And on top of that, you get LED eyes and the base. Now, since I have a wide range of viewers and a wide range of people are into Voltron, just so we can get this out of the way, the casual Voltron fans, or not so much casual, but the ones that really liked Voltron and really didn't venture into collecting robots as an adult, will dig this. A lot of people will buy this for the office, all right? And then you also have the collectors that just love robots that will buy this. Now, the thing is, on that end, I'm one of those collectors. Although I don't necessarily share the same views as the other collectors, is that a lot of people don't like this mold. A lot of people think it's too thin, too anorexic looking, but for the most part, the general Voltron fan will dig it. Now, the collectors tend to collect very high-end stuff, and this is a little bit outdated when you compare the two, but it's still an excellent figure. But a lot of people don't like it. They're waiting for Bandai, who made the original Voltron or Go Lion back in the 80s. They're waiting for them to make their version. That's what everybody's waiting for, and that's why everybody pretty much wants Toynami to just not do these figures. And to explain a little bit about what happened behind the scenes, Bandai, I had met up with Bandai with Collection DX, and we spoke a little bit about the releasing of Go Lion, and everything seemed to be on the right path. As a matter of fact, we thought it was a all said and done type of thing. And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Toynami is releasing this. So apparently, Bandai does not have the license to make it. As to why that is, I can't really tell you guys. I can't really say anything about that. All right, it's all speculation at this point. But here is Toynami making this, and I had the opportunity to meet with the owner of Toynami, George, and he's a really cool guy. He's really passionate. A lot of people don't really quite understand why his decisions for certain things are made, but really when you talk to him and he's able to express these things, which I'm not at liberty to say, you really understand that this guy does have a passion for these things, and there's reasons for everything that he does. And one of those things is re-releasing the same mold of a figure that is about a decade old. Now, even though it has its improvements, a lot of people, again, will hate on this figure because they're expecting something new, either from Toynami or from Bandai. But anyway, with that out of the way, it is what it is. Toynami has a license, and all I can tell you guys really at this point is, since they have a license, let them make the Voltron toys. We've waited years and years to get Voltron figures. We might as well wait a couple more to see what else comes out. But for now, Toynami has it. They really want to work on some cool stuff, but it's all based on the success of what they're making right now. In other words, if this stuff does good, you're going to see more cool stuff, which I can't tell you guys, but believe me, it's pretty cool stuff. But I can give you an example. The Jumbo Voltron, if enough of those sell, I believe they need to sell 1,000, the vehicle Voltron will be made. So a lot of the funding for the future projects are based on the success of current ones. Alright, so if you've hung out this long, I guess we can continue on with the review. As you'll see, there's the 30-year sticker up top here. I'm sure you're tired of looking at the box, but before we continue, I will show you, little things here and there. It's a green metallic kind of brushed aluminum look. This here I don't think it's an actual oil painting, but it's got that oil painting kind of look, probably done on a computer, but you'll see brush strokes and stuff. You get the shield illustration in the back. You get the full color Voltron logo, which has always been cool, even though it's very 80s. And you get a little holographic 30th anniversary collector set print here. All right, and the tops and sides, really no big deal. Just see if I can fit this here, guys, because I don't have much space, but it does show the 5 lines here with their weapons. And weapons were not included with the original 20th anniversary set. They were set to be released with the base, which is shown here. All right, this is what was supposed to be released a while back and never was, but glad we got it now. So you see the Voltron there with all his weapons, the light up eyes. Okay, and as you can see, 30th anniversary collector set. And you'll notice the actual robot piece here is gloss, while the rest of it is just a regular matte finish. Kind of hard to tell here, but you'll see it kind of shines somewhat here, and as soon as I pass it right on the robot, it gets glossy. So that's a neat little touch. Another neat little feature is the top of the box here has a carrying handle like the vintage toys, which is a nice little touch. The plastic 25th anniversary version and the regular plastic version also had these little handles. But it's really cool they included it in this box, which is actually pretty big, so it does make sense to put a little handle here. And just for size comparison, here is the Voltron Lion Force collector set, which was the plastic version, and they released after the diecast, which a lot of people dig more than the diecast version because the legs are supported a little bit better due to the fact that they're made out of plastic. And you'll see the box is a lot thinner. All right, and this bot I'm going to show you in a little bit. What I do want to show you, just get it out of the way right now, is not only the handle here. I'm not sure. There we go. It's not only the handle here, but the way the figures are laid out. And this is more for those of you that have not seen this. And the reason I'm showing you this, even though this isn't the actual figure reviewing, is just so you can see how they're doing it similar to what they've done with the plastic. Now, plastic doesn't have the chrome weapons, but you'll see it does have this window right here, right in the front, which gives it a nice vintage feel, like the old Japanese expensive robots they used to sell back in the 80s. So that's a really nice touch. And here's the inside of the new Toynami release. You'll see it's got the same window box design. The one thing that I'm sure all of you have noticed is the greenish hue that they've chosen to do the box with. I don't know where the green comes from. It looks cool, but it's a little strange for the colors that are on the robot to choose like a light aqua blue greenish thing. But it works, and it's got a nice brushed metal look to it. And you'll see that the lion names here also have a holographic print there. And obviously the chrome weapons. Once we remove the little window, you'll see it's just set in styrofoam. It's a bunch of styrofoam, guys. And usually high-end toys do come with styrofoam. I know a lot of people have concerns about using styrofoam, but the thing is, really this is for collectors. Most collectors would like to return their precious collectibles back into a box that's going to protect it, and this will surely do it. This is not the type of collectible you just want to throw in a shoebox when you're done displaying or playing with it. So, and then when we remove the top tray, bottom tray is left here, and you'll see the stand. Right, and the stand is actually pretty big. Look at my hand. I have huge, gigantic monster hands, and look at how big that stand is. And you also get a key. You get a lion key. You get the bits for the stand to prop him up on the stand, so he won't fall over as easily. And the chrome weapons, which are excellent chrome. Some of the best chrome I've seen in a release so far. There's no, and I've examined mine, there's no little pits or little pieces of hair stuck in the chrome, nothing. It's just mirror finish. And you also get this little instruction manual, which comes in a nice little plastic bag, all right, with nice colors. I actually prefer the color that they used for the manual, which is just a darker color of that green they used. It would have been nice if they did the whole box this way. I'll go ahead and check out the contents of the manual. It shows you obviously the transformation, which is overall pretty much the same as the original. And if you don't have the original, you've never played with a Voltron, never had the opportunity to own one, and that's possible. I didn't own one until I was much older due to lack of funds as a kid, but here you are. All the bits and pieces that come with it. Let's see what else we got. The transformation of the head, transformation of the actual lions, putting it together, and then setting up the base. Alright, there you go. And also the battery compartment, where to put the batteries and how to replace them, and blah 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 blah. Alright, so let's move ahead. Alright guys, so to start this off, I've got here two versions. I've got the new one we're reviewing, okay? This is the 30th anniversary here. With the baggies, it comes right out of the styrofoam, and the plastic version. Alright, so I'm going to show you the differences between this and the plastic version. I'd rather do it with the plastic version since there's not many differences between this and a die-cast. Alright, the biggest difference being the lack of chrome on the plastic. And in case you're wondering what these things are for, it's my way of protecting, and you're welcome to use this idea, of protecting the legs from getting scratched up, just like the originals did when you pop them in, and from all the movement it ends up scraping the legs. Since these are painted silver, I've gone ahead and put these little bandage type things around here to prevent the figure from getting scraped on the paint here. Alright, so that's this guy. And a word of warning when you do handle the 30th anniversary version is you may want to have gloves on, unless you really don't care about staining your chrome. But on my masterpiece, there are fingerprints that never came off. Okay, I don't know if I did them or they're from the factory. I don't have a forensics kit to check, but you will want to be careful. And I'm going to try and be careful with this. I don't have gloves at the moment. So here's one leg. All right, the chrome on this is not as great as the chrome on the weapons. This is a little messier, and it could be because there's mold release. There's a little bit of grease staining there, as you'll see. Let me just rub that off my finger. That was a bad idea. And that right here too. So hopefully that's just little grease stains, possibly from the bag being full of mold release. And we'll take the top off here. Alright, and here is the rest of the figure. Let's just take a look up close for a minute. If you raise the head, you'll see there's contacts there. Alright, which is a pretty neat design, I think. So you can still move the head and make contact without using wires that will eventually snap. You want to pull this out. It does say do not discard, and the reason being, if you're going to store this or keep it on display for a long time and not use the LEDs, you will want to not discard this. You will want to put this back in there to keep the batteries from spoiling. Alright, and we'll bring the head down. You'll see it's already activated, the LED feature. Can't get the head to stay there. There we go. Alright, so let me shut some lights off. I didn't expect the LEDs to already be on. It is a cool look. You'll see it's like almost like a holographic kind of look. It's greenish and yellowish. Really neat. I kind of wanted to show you this when it's Voltron, but we might as well show you now since the eyes are on. And I will show you again later on in the review. So the difference is, obviously one's die-cast, one is much heavier. So if you prefer something with weight, you want the die-cast version. As a matter of fact, these plastic versions are selling for a lot more than the die-cast. So now's your time or your chance to purchase a metal one and have it be cheaper than one of these. And to shut off the LED feature, you can just lift the head up and you'll see it'll just shut off right there. There you go. Alright, so die-cast. Some people may want to know where the die-cast is. The die-cast is really everything that's very shiny. You'll see the black here is very shiny. Again, there's mold release, so don't worry about that. This is all die-cast up here except for the shoulder bits on the side are plastic, but the whole center section is die-cast and very weighty. Now the section back here, this part is not chrome, but the legs underneath are. Right, so we're gonna get this guy into lion mode. I hope I don't mess up the chrome too much with my fingerprints. It just requires me doing this. Alright, so here they are side by side in their lion mode. And I just remembered something. There is another Toynami release besides the two plastic ones, the regular version, which is this, the metallic 25th anniversary version, the 30th anniversary die-cast, and the 20th anniversary masterpiece. There is a Reebok version which blends the best of both worlds. You get the plastic version, which is feels more solid and stable due to the lack of weight, and you also get chrome bits. Alright, so it's pretty much this guy with chrome legs on all the lions. And the other difference between these two guys is the fact that this new version, and this is the only version so far that comes with lion weapons. So there's his weapon, again, beautiful, beautiful chrome, look at that. I just wish the chrome that they used for the weapons was as nice as the one on the legs. But again, that might just be the mold release standing it up, we'll find out later. But yeah, so you get the weapon. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Red Lion, number 2. So again, comes in a nice baggie here to protect it. It's actually taped too. Go ahead and open this guy up. Again, chrome. Be wary of the chrome. Alright, and then we got the plastic version. Right away you'll see, maybe not on camera, red suck on camera, but the red is much deeper on this one. Or not deeper, not darker in a sense, deeper, but richer. Alright, and this is more of a, it's red, but it looks pale in comparison. And again, silver painted legs compared to chrome. And substantial weight difference. A lot of people had complaints about the, since this is, I don't play with these, I just put them in the display. I don't have the looseness of the head, but a lot of these figures on the original Masterpiece had loose heads. I believe they did do something to fix that with the new release. I know they did some joint updates, which I will see if I can point them out later. And I don't know if one of those was making this, well actually this feels a lot stiffer, using different plastics for this, because as you'll see, the connection is one of the things that when I first saw, I'm like, I don't know if I like that type of connection. It doesn't use the actual tail, which is right here. It uses, like, for lack of a better word, like a little peepee to connect to the Voltron. And I believe the plastic version uses the same plastic as the Masterpiece, and the plastic on this does look a little glossier. It does feel a little more substantial when I'm moving it than it does with this, so hopefully that's one of the improvements made. Now as I go ahead and put them into the lion form with the legs out, a lot of people tug on the toes to pull the legs down. That's a sure way to crack the legs. A lot of these have cracked legs because people just tug on them the wrong way. Don't do that. You obviously want to grab the chunkier bit, which is right here, the elbow, then help it along, because it is quite stiff. You don't want to pull on the foot and put all the pressure right on the joint there. Alright, so just do it by hand, just help it along, and you should be fine. Alright, so I got them in lion mode there, and did want to point out that the legs do have ratchets. Alright, you don't really hear them, but you feel them. Now we got them both here in lion mode. I wanted to show you the weapon for the Red Lion, which has always been my favorite. It looks like the most dangerous. There's actually 3 blades, and look at the size of this thing. Right, you can go ahead and place that in his mouth. There you are, and it looks great. Maybe a little oversized, it seems, from what I remember the original being like. But again, really cool looking weapon. Now we're up to good old number 3 out of the bag already. Look at the differences in the paint. Look at how metallic the 30th anniversary. Let me put them on the right side so we don't confuse you. Look at the paint on that. Beautiful metallic paint. This is just like a metallic plastic. It's not the metallic version, but it has little teeny bits of flecks in there that are kind of hard to see, to be honest, in silver paint. But this thing is absolutely beautiful. The head, unfortunately, does not carry the same paint as this, which it's actually not paint. The green is actually plastic, but it would have been nice if they would at least make it a little more metallic to match the green. But looking at it like that, honestly, it's not a big deal. Now, something I just realized, a lot of you may not be familiar with these figures, so you may not really understand the articulation. I haven't really gone over it for the lions, but all the lions have the ratcheting legs. You got the 3 joints on each leg, aside from the ratchets, and you also have like a side-to-side movement. So it's not just straight up and down like the original. You do get the legs to come out and come in a little bit. Let's move ahead and show you the weapon for this guy. And then it's this one right here. Get a gleam on that. Open his mouth. Put the weapon right in there. And there you are, number 3. So now we're going to move ahead to number 4. Alright, so here's good old number 4, the Blue Lion. Again, some beautiful, beautiful metallic paint on the lion itself. I'm sure you can see the flecks there. And compared to the plastic, with no flex. I do love the design of the leg lions and the articulation on this one, obviously the head just like the other ones, and then of course the neck here to form the foot. Now I did run into an issue with this, unfortunately, guys. I haven't had any issues with my other releases of this mold, but for some reason, look at the leg on the back. There's absolutely no friction whatsoever on this leg. It's pretty much just on the ball joint. I don't know what's up with that. Either they forgot the piece that puts friction on the ball joint, or whatever it is that they use to hold it, because that's non-existent with these other legs and non-existent with any of the other figures I have of this. So that's why it's always good to get your stuff from a reputable place like bbts.com. Link is down below if you want to get this guy. But yeah, so I'll get in touch with them, get that straightened out. But again, if there's anybody that has an issue like this, please post it below. That's why we do these reviews, guys, so you can see what kind of experiences other buyers of this have, and if it's a recurring issue, hopefully it will be something that's fixed so future buyers won't have to deal with this. But that's the point of these reviews, guys, so you can see everything that goes on. Now, guys, if you do experience with any of these figures loose elbows, you'll notice if you look at the other side, because this one was rather loose, the line wouldn't stand up, there is a screw right there. Just tighten it very carefully with a screwdriver like this, but you want to get the right size so you don't strip out the screw there. But don't overforce it, because you will strip it out, but just a little tightening of that will get you the friction back, which allows them to stand the way you want it. Now, the weapon for Blue Line is this triple bladed weapon, all right, which you can place right in the mouth like that. And now we can move on to number 5, Yellow Lion. Alright, guys, and here we got the Yellow Lion, number 5. Alright, we got diecast 1 on the left with the chrome. Again, really hefty. The yellow is more of a school bus yellow. Not so much a school bus yellow, but very close. Compared to this one, which lacks the depth in the little panel lines as compared to the one that is painted. Alright, so definitely looks a lot better in the diecast version, regardless of whether or not it has a chrome. The paint looks better, the color, everything looks really good. And I love the fact that the lions have this kind of articulation. The old ones were just straight like this. They kind of looked a little weird, but the fact that you can do that with those is amazing. So we're going to check out the weapon for this guy. And here's the weapon for this guy. It's just a single bladed weapon. My least favorite of all the weapons. Even though Yellow Lion is my favorite, his weapon is not. Alright, but this is what he looks like with it. Okay. Again, not really a crazy weapon. I always like this one, right? And that's a cool thing. You can interchange them between the lions, all right, which is a nice little feature. Now, as you'll notice, when I've gone through the leg lions, I didn't show you any shooting features on the Blue Lion. I didn't show you the waist thing that pops up and shoots this. I didn't show you the ears that open on the Yellow Lion that shoot missiles. For those of you that had the old Lion bot or the original Go Lion, may miss those features. Even people that didn't have that will miss those features if they thought they were awesome. They are not part of this, which is a shame. It would have been nice if this pops up to shoot missiles, but it doesn't. And even though this set comes with weapons, it's only got the little main weapon. It doesn't have all the other attachments all the other lions did in those old sets. Now, having said that, I guess we're going to show you the completed Voltron, already transformed and combined and whatever, compared to the original masterpiece and the plastic version. Alright, guys, here he is combined. As you can see, very stunning figure, all the chrome, the beautiful colors, excellent design. I know a lot of people don't like the design. It's usually more of the hardcore robot collectors. I do consider myself a hardcore robot collector, but as a Voltron fan, I'm pretty biased. I like anything Voltron. And I can't really find anything really bad to say about this, except maybe the wings. Yeah, the wings look a little skinny. Overall, the chest design, the waist, but it's their own version. It's Toynami's version of the Voltron, and I think it looks really, really good. And what we're going to do now is compare it to the plastic version. Now, as you can see here, folks, pretty much the same visually, except for the chrome and obviously the beautiful metallic paint job. But the same figure, same overall figure, just a lot less heavy. Supposedly more stable. And the reason I say supposedly is because mine has all the regular things that are the little issues that people complain about on a diecast plus more. Now keep in mind, my plastic version was only used for one review a few years back when it first came out, 10 years ago I guess. Hasn't been played since. But it does have the clanking of the legs. You'll see that, what they mean by the clanking. And this is a plastic version, so supposedly that's one of the things people liked about this. And I noticed mine, look at these arms. They do have ratchets, but one is out here. And if you want it like the way I have that guy, you can't do it. It's just pretty much a floppy mess. At least mine is. And I do have a couple plastic ones, but they're sealed in a box. I have no need to open more than one. And then obviously, whoa, look at that, guys. I can edit that out, but I won't. You notice this one, I have no problem putting the arms that way. You'll notice the feet are folded the way they're not supposed to on the original. And I do that for more clearance. That's probably how they're supposed to be for this figure. I haven't read the directions, but in case you're finding that there's a lot of clearance issues here, you'll want to fold them up that way. But you'll notice the figure holds the arms very well, this die-cast figure. The joints are nice and snappy. The elbows here really nice. You got the waist. All the same articulation. I'm sure there's tons of videos showing the combining and articulation of this figure. But this still has that issue with picking it up and the legs clank together. The joints here would have to be very, very stiff. Probably die-cast also to be able to support that. I don't think they're die-cast. I don't know if the actual posts inside are metal, but the outside of it's plastic, which doesn't allow for much tension on there. So that still has a little clanking of the feet. Now I've noticed, and I'm sure you guys have also, that my enthusiasm for this is waning as I go along in the review. And yes, I'm not going to redo it and try and sound more excited. The reason my excitement is a little less than it was in the beginning, because I think it's the same thing that I've bought many times over. Even though it has the LED eyes and the stand. I've yet to show you the stand, so maybe my enthusiasm will pick up a little bit. But it's really nothing new, so it's really hard for me to really get excited. But that does not in any way mean that this figure is not awesome. It's just been there, done that. So, the weapons, nice chrome weapons. Let's check that out. So we're gonna take the weapon here. I'll grab the one from the plastic. All right, and show you the differences. So we got the chrome here, right? Look at that. I don't know if you could see me. Anyway, and the regular painted silver. So the chrome obviously is going to look a lot better. And the cool thing with these figures is that they can actually hold the sword with two hands. I'm not going to go ahead and do that since the review is already long as it is, and this is just really a comparison video anyway in the end. And then you also get this beautifully chromed shield. Pretty much the same thing as the regular Masterpiece version. Now I do have, let's put the plastic one down here for a second, I do have the other regular Masterpiece, alright? And this will pretty much explain why my excitement is not as much as it would be if this was the first time I've ever bought this figure. Alright, because here is the standard regular Masterpiece. Right, let's get it in the same position as this guy. Now this Masterpiece I bought used on eBay. I think I paid about $100 for it, really cheap, or $80 actually, which was a best offer. The guy took it, so here I am with a Masterpiece. But anyway, here's a comparison between the two. You'll see the little feet here I'm talking about, a little bit of a clearance issue, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so really not anything different. It's the same damn thing, guys. The same damn thing. So the only difference, if I'll do this right here, is the fact that this dude has LED eyes. Very hard to do this without knocking over the camera. Alright, they're not as pronounced because I do have other lights on, but yeah, so that's really the only difference, guys. And in the stands and the weapons. So here is the original Voltron next to the Masterpiece. We'll do a quick scan since I can't fit both figures here in camera view. But most people grew up with this guy. Now this one's a regular Matchbox version, so it doesn't have the little buttons wherever they are to shoot missiles, and only the hands shoot, but none of the other gimmicks, which is pretty much what this guy is, except this guy doesn't shoot his fists. Now as far as which one is heavier, can't really tell. It really, and it might be because I'm not lefty, but since I'm holding it with my left hand, the Masterpiece does feel a tad heavier, in case you guys were wondering. And I was just talking to you guys about how some people don't really like the look of this Anorexic Voltron. Toynami also released this little vinyl here, and it looks like it's the same size, but it's not. If I put it down here, you'll see it's just illusion there. All right, would be cool if it was that big, but it's that big. But anyway, I think this, even though it's very simple, really is a cool Voltron. I know Voltron was always different proportions. Sometimes his legs, like if you look at some of the pictures, the lion heads on the feet were like way more bigger than the Black Lion. Sometimes the hands were gigantic. It's very hard to do a well-proportioned one, but I think this does a great job. And it's also from Toynami. But continuing on along, I do want to compare it to this guy here. Just give me a moment. I don't want to drop it. This guy. And no, this is not the Matchbox Voltron. This is the Miracle Productions Voltron, which whoever's watching and has been following the history of this guy, it's a very tainted history, very controversial. A lot of, I don't even want to get into it in this video, but there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with this. For those Voltron fans not following what happened, there was a lot of issues for this to be released, and it's even though the box does have some what do you call it, licensing things from WEP, it is not considered an official release by WEP. So there's something going on there. So it's a little weird to get. It wasn't officially sold here in the States, but if you're hardcore enough, you find ways to get things. And it's really still not that hard to get. So if you guys like this, I'm sure you can find it. But just wanted to show you what it looks like in case you wanted a vehicle Voltron with your Masterpiece. It is available out there, guys, without having to spend tons and tons of money or going through 10 different broken ones to complete one good one. You can just buy this, and this is also die-cast and very heavy. Forgot how heavy this thing was, but very, very heavy. So, and I think with that we can go ahead and check out the stand. Alright guys, so here is the base. Okay, I've gone ahead and installed the other pieces, as we'll show you here. Alright, gone ahead and done that. And I've gone ahead and laid down some of the weapons. They just lay in there. They don't actually snap in or anything. They are at an angle, so they're not going to fall off as long as you're careful and not swinging the stand around. And just do that for all of them. Right, we got the yellow lion one here, and then we got my favorite red lion one back here. And you'll notice, if we move down a bit, there's this thing here. So that, if you're not aware of that already, is for the lion key. I'll show you the lion key up close. A lot of people were concerned that it looked a little bit cheap in pictures. Of course, they're prototypes, so they're going to look a little messy. But now that I have it, you'll see it's not too bad. It's not the greatest thing in the world. There's a little overspray around the gold there, but this is not meant to examine up close, guys. This is a toy, right? And we bring it around back. This has a little clip, so you can attach it to your shirt and be cool. And then it's also the key for this base to activate the sound feature. Now I have pre-installed 3 AA batteries. That does require 3 AA batteries, which are not included in the set. And I should have checked to see if there was an on and off switch before I put all the weapons on. But I guess we'll find out when I attach this key. So apparently, and I didn't see it in the instructions, you're supposed to take this off somehow. Yep, there we go. Just pop it right off. And like in the show, the key goes in and it comes out like that, right? So this is the actual lion key. So what you're supposed to do is put it here, and let's get prepared for sound here, as long as I did everything right, and push it in. Alright, so that worked, but I want to try it again because I forgot there's actual LEDs in the base there for the star. So it does the whole transformation thing. So, okay, so I did that on its own. So let's try it again with just one light here. Take the key out. Just pretend we never did that. Pop it back in. push it in. See, that's actually really freaking awesome. So yeah, I don't know how many different sounds it has. I thought it had voices, but I know it has a lion roar. I don't know what I can do to make the other sounds. Oh, there's a lion roar. It doesn't really say anything about causing the sounds. I think they just happen on their own as long as you leave the key in there. So far it's been roaring. We'll give it another couple of seconds to see if it does anything different, and meanwhile I'll read the directions, and yeah, it doesn't really say anything here, guys. Yeah, I guess all it does is roar, but still a neat little feature. My favorite is just seeing the little star go around and light up. So I've gone ahead and deactivated it for a sec. I just want to continue on with the stand here. The stand, you'll see, has this little prop here, which is for the swords and the shield. So the shield will go right here, like so, and the sword will go right up here, just like that, and then Voltron himself will stand right here. Now, I was kind of wishing that there was something to hold Voltron. Not that he's unstable, but it would have been nice if something was holding him, to be honest. We'll take a look at it from the bottom up, just so you can see everything together. All that shiny chrome. So this thing really does look great on display, much more than the regular Masterpiece version. And of course the LEDs, can't forget about the LED, right? We'll show you this in full blown LED action going on there. Let's turn off some lights, and pretty vicious. There you go. This is a really cool set, guys, and again, definitely something all fans of Voltron will enjoy, some more than others. But if you never got the chance to get an original and don't want to pay ridiculous prices for those, just get yourself one of these. It's beautiful. It'll look great in an office if you're one of those older guys like me that want to have a cool looking Voltron. This is the one to get, guys. For now, this is what we have until somebody else makes the craziest one ever, which will probably be Bandai. But for now, this is what we got, guys, and hopefully something else will come soon from Toynami while they have a license. And I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. I don't think I'm missing anything else. So if you guys have any questions or comments regarding this figure, let me know what your issues or concerns or what your experiences are with this figure when you get yours. And if you want to get one from BBTS. Link is down below. And that's really it, guys. Till next time, bye-bye.